Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. It's Jackie-cation. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com, FamilyPetAncestry.com for no particular reason. Welcome to the Dork Forest, you guys. You know the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sang the theme song with his girlfriend, Sarah Cohen. And at the end, he has made up lyrics to the Mexican hat dance. So that is Mike Rickberg. You should definitely take Sarah Cohen's last name. Don't you think they should marry? Mike Rickberg at the end singing Mexican hat dance. Patrick Brady will fix this audio. Yes, he will. And he'll do a vital work as he always does. And Vilmos does my website, JackieCation.com. And you can go and hire him. There's a link to his web skills online. So those are the credits. On JackieCation.com, there's an Amazon banner. We're getting into the holidays here. Feel free to use the Amazon banner, which is a white banner. It's a portal, brings you to Amazon. Then you place your order with Amazon like we all do. And then I get like a percentage, like 4% of many different items that you buy. I think I got like $230 last month. So I appreciate it. It's a great way to support the show. You could also buy merch if you want. The store on JackieCation.com has Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirts, designed by my nephew, Salmon Beemel Benrud, and the Dork Forest t-shirts designed by Brett Chambers of Portland, Oregon. Those are both great t-shirts. They're union made in the U.S. because why not, right? Anyway, so do not donate to the Dork Forest this month or next month. It's November. It's Thanksgiving. Find a food bank. Give somebody a sandwich. So Google the name of your town, village, or city and the words food bank, and it'll come up. And if you give them money, they can buy whatever they need, or you can just bring them some food, because that's how that goes. And then in January, you can donate again if you want. I usually ask for $100 a year if you can do it. So if you want to donate the $10 this month and next month that you would donate to that to a food bank, it would really help. So don't worry about it. I'm doing stand-up at Flappers this weekend. Dan Telfer, friend of the show, Dinosaur Dork, he is going to MC, even though he could headline. Erin Foley, who could headline, is going to be featuring She Sports Dork. And Marie Bamford's going to be doing some guest sets if she can. So come down to Flappers to see the greatest lineup in the world, Flappers Burbank, 8 and 10:30 here in Los Angeles, where I will be following some incredible stand-up comedy. There's going to be an ad, and then we're going to get into the show. Stay tuned. Shattering conventions, shattering conventions, shattering. Hey, I sang. It's Jackie-cation. Shattering conventions, commerce, cosplay, and conflict on the expo floor by Bob Calhoun is this month's sponsor. It's a hilarious and disturbing book. Friend of the show, conventions dork Bob Calhoun, has been on the show, previous episode. He goes to all kinds of different conventions, trade shows, and expos, and writes about it in Shattering Conventions. But he doesn't just go to Comic-Con and Star Trek conventions. He goes to a gun show, a livestock show, a Republican convention, a conspiracy convention. I remember being slightly worried when he went to that one. And even a Bigfoot hunter con. There's all kinds of crazy and wrong in this book, and it's not always where you expect to find it. Not only have I read this book, I endorsed it with a blurb on the back cover, and I recommend it to all Rangers of the Dork Forest and spooky reading girls within the sound of my voice. The book is Shattering Conventions, Commerce, Cosplay, and Conflict on the Expo Floor by Bob Calhoun. It's available in ebook and paperback from Amazon.com and other fine booksellers. For more on the book, go to shatteringconventions.com. It's a really good book. You should get it. It's Jackie-cation, and finally, the sneaker dork of my dreams, Suli McCullough. Welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is a dream come true that I get to talk sneakers. I'm very excited.
Well, someone told me that there's that it's It's not just you. I mean, we're never alone with our dorkdom, of course.
No, you know what's weird is nowadays sneaker collecting is so much bigger than it was when I first started.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's almost to the point where it's not cool. Yeah, it's,
okay.
because it's almost like being a Clippers fan now. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
because the Clippers are good. They have marquee players.
Nobody got in on the ground floor. Of
I did.
REM
I
or
was,
whatever. You
yes,
were there.
I was a Clippers fan when I would tell, girls I was going to Clipper games and they'd be like, what's that? So that's what sneaker collecting used to be. And that's where I was in the game. And now it's so big and broad, it's a different thing. So it's like the delineation between real collectors and the modern
man
collectors.
has co-opted, essentially, like with me and video games and comic books.
Right.
Everybody's in now.
Right. Yeah, it's not as it's not a
as
thing.
selective.
Yeah.
But what I'm okay with is that there's plenty of room in the bin.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do.
In fact, you know what's funny? I'll tell you this. They call the new school sneakerheads.
Okay.
They call them hype beasts.
Oh, how do you spell that? Hype.
HYPE
right.
beasts. Hype beasts.
Hype beast?
Yes, hype beasts. Plural.
Plural.
Yes, hype beasts.
All right.
And that's not a good thing. It sounds
doesn't-
cool,
Yeah,
but it's not a good thing.
It actually sounds a little horrible. It sounds like somebody said to themselves, I am not a sneaker collector. I'm a hype beast. It's like when people because, okay, I don't know why I'm bringing it back to this, but the Star Trek The Next Generation.
Right.
I watched it when it first came out, and we just called it Next Trek.
Right.
Because there had been the original Trek, and then there was Next Trek. And now, to my knowledge, people who like Star Trek The Next Generation call it TNG, or they call it... They have other words for it, and, or Next Gen. I don't know what they call it, but I just called it Next Trek, and I called it, hey, my laundry's done.
Oh, good.
I don't know if that things happen sometimes when you come over to the house, Suli.
Right.
The phone sometimes rings.
Right.
Then I ask you to talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I'm glad that your laundry's done.
Well, good to know that I'll have some clean laundry. Let's actually tell people, Suli McCullough, about SuliMcCullough.com. You're a stand-up comic, writer, actor, very funny.
Thank you.
People should go.
Yeah, they should go to SuliMcCullough.com. You'll see the things that I'm doing. Then I'm also on Twitter and
Instagram.
And
it's
Instagram. SuliMcCullough.com.
And it'll be in the notes, you guys.
Yes.
So, but Rangers, full-on recommendation to see the live talking out of your joke hole.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, always fun. Always fun when...
I like to try and bring some things for the people.
Exactly. As we all do. So, how did you get into... when we were children, we were just handed tennis shoes.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I guess it always goes back to your childhood, but I'm the oldest of 7. And, even if we had money, you divide it by 7 kids and you're broke.
Right.
So
you have to be like, I'm the youngest of 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah.
You have to be, Mad Max.
Yes.
Jews.
Yes.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I don't have my Rolodex of Jew-hating...
Jew-hating Mad Max, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Mel Gibson?
That's him.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that guy.
Like, he has like 6 or 7 kids. And
Yeah.
you have to be him to really have enough money for enough of those kids.
Exactly.
So you're
or the Jolie Pitts. You can be them, and that's why they have a bunch of kids.
That's why they go out. That's why they can go out and just get kids.
Yeah,
because they got
exactly.
enough money
Exactly.
that they can
They're
raise
like, hey,
them all.
I want a lot of kids.
I want to be surrounded by children.
Right.
Of all kinds, of all ages,
Yes.
of all heights.
Yes, of all ethnicities and flavors. And
exactly. They can all have a limited 2 and baby gap. And
Right. I bet the just the throwaway leather jackets are amazing. In that family.
Right. The ironic band t-shirts that they don't get. Like the Baby Misfits t-shirt that doesn't fit the kid anymore.
Right.
Anyway.
So we weren't that. We
Yes.
weren't that at all. And so always had to have the the cheap sneakers coming up, whatever you could afford.
Sure.
And so I think around college, I went to UCLA and all the football players had on the Air Jordans, you know, of course, because
that was the day.
Yeah, those were like the elite shoes, and they were the elite athletes. And so a lot of times I'd be like, oh man, they got the good stuff.
Right.
And that was right around when I started doing stand-up. And as you know, you got to go on the road, and there's not much to do.
Right.
You go to malls and
there's always it's soothing, quite honestly.
Yes, it is. It is.
Very,
yeah,
very soothing.
I just got back off the road, and it was very, very relaxing.
Well, because they all look the same.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's kind of like being at home. Oh, look,
Right.
There's a Nevada store.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smell that.
Right. I'm gonna go have some tea.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's when I started collecting just, you know, to pass the time when I was on the road. I would go to sporting goods stores and, you know, the mall sneaker shops, maybe the mom and pop sneaker shops.
Right.
And, you know, I had a really good eye very early on as to what the good stuff was. So, you know,
What makes it good versus not good?
Well, the you know, like the
I mean, there's color and style.
There is color and style, which is a big part of it. There's
Okay.
also what athlete endorses the shoes. Like the Air Jordans are the premier. That's like the Bentley of the shoes.
Oh, are they still?
Oh, absolutely. Are they still?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And it's another classic moment on the Dork Forest where Jackie doesn't know anything about. I don't know. Michael Jordan hasn't played basketball in 100
And
years.
that's
right?
what's amazing about the sneaker game.
Yeah.
Is he will never have to play basketball again, and he will forever. Like, Jordans are bigger now than they were when he played.
Really?
Yes.
And is he getting back end?
Yes, he is. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
then get out there, people.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, he's got money.
That's why Michael Jordan can be mean in his underwear commercials because he's making that much money off his sneakers. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
I
he's
have not.
never friendly in those.
He's never friendly. He's got to be, what, 50 years old now? 55?
Yeah, he's like 50 yeah, in his 50s.
Okay, yeah.
So what they did was, here's the brilliant thing about Nike. Like, when those shoes came out, they were $150, which was a lot back then.
Yeah,
it's a premium shoe. What they did was they saw that there was a popularity and there was a resale value. Like, the shoes went up in value, almost like the stock market.
Wait,
So,
there's a shoe resale market?
oh, yes.
What are people doing? Putting them in like box things? And
Well, there's a
dioramas
couple
of the
ways
people
that
they
you can
most
sell
admire?
them. The
Okay.
desirable shoes, you can sell them as unworn, which is called dead stock.
Okay.
And so those sell for a premium. Like, what happens is they'll release a shoe, say they release it for $160.
Okay.
If it's really popular, that shoe will double in value almost instantly. That same shoe that came out and sold out day one, day two, if you'd like to buy that shoe, it's going to cost you $250 on eBay, or there are also resale places.
Okay.
There's a place on Fairfax that I like to shop at called Flight Club.
Flight Club.
Yes, and
it's
if
a
you
shoe-
go in,
it's
it's
a
a shoe
resale?
resale place, but it's all the hottest, most desirable shoes. And you're not going to pay retail for them. You're going to pay sometimes double and triple.
And these are just at
This Flight Club, sure.
Flight Club. Is this are they the dead stock?
Yes. Let's
they've
see.
never
Flight
been
Club is
worn.
one of those that only sells dead stock shoes. So if
Okay.
you're going there, it's a shoe that you've wanted for a while that you're like, I'm going to pay whatever it costs to get this shoe that I wanted. There's other places I really like too. There's a place called Riff LA down in Koreatown.
Okay.
Downtown. They do dead stock shoes, but then they also sell shoes that have been gently worn so you can also, and I actually like doing that too, because if they've already been worn, you're going to get them for a little bit cheaper.
Okay.
And you can just wear them.
Okay.
So yeah. So there's certain shoes that say you miss out on because
Yep.
it's also a lot harder to get shoes now. When I first started collecting, you could basically go there and have money
Yeah.
and get what you want.
Right.
Now that stopped.
That's no longer a thing.
That's no longer a thing.
Where you have money and
Yeah.
you walk into a store and you're like, I saw these shoes online. I saw these shoes in a magazine. Could I get a pair of these shoes in a 10.5?
Nope. Don't do
not-
that anymore.
That is not
Don't
happening.
do that
we're
anymore.
sold out of that shoe.
Well, here's what they do. One, either they limit the amount of shoes you can buy, so everyone has a chance to get it.
Okay.
Secondly, and this is where it gets really weird,
Yeah.
you now have to follow like a Nike online.
Okay.
And you
like
have
their Twitter
to,
feed or something?
Yes. You have to follow their Twitter feed and you have to RSVP for a shoe that's coming out.
Not even a pre-order.
Not even a pre-order.
Because if
you have to follow them, they randomly say, okay, this shoe is available.
Yeah.
And they give you a hashtag that you have to put in. You have to put your name, your desired size, and that hashtag.
Right.
And it goes to wherever those things in Twitter go to.
Right.
And they notify you if
via
you were
Twitter.
Via Twitter if you were selected.
So
that has totally
lottery.
changed the sneaker game. Yes, it's like a lottery. It's completely changed the lottery, the sneaker game.
That's hilarious, and yet
it's hilarious, and it makes you angry.
Yeah,
just as a consumer that wants what you want. That's why the resale places are so popular, because what happens is now you have a whole different kind of person.
There's got to be a business. There's
absolutely,
gotta be
and those are called sneaker resellers.
Okay,
and resellers are good and bad. Because what they do is they buy the shoes at the original cost, and then they sell them to these other places, so they make a profit off them.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can get them, but they're going to cost you more. But they don't really care about the shoes. They care about making a profit.
Right. So you can get the shoe.
It's just going to cost you a lot more.
It's seriously going to cost you much more money.
Right. Right.
Let's go back briefly to the fact that Air Jordans are still top of the line here.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're bigger now because now what they do is they re-release the popular models every month or so. In fact, Black Friday.
Yes. Oh, right. Which is when this will be available.
Okay. See, so it's very, very topical.
Very topical. Though it might be too late, even though this will drop at midnight on Black Friday.
Okay, great. So will the Air Jordan 6s in red and black.
Okay.
And that's one of the most popular shoes of the year.
Okay, Air Jordan in
Air
red and
Jordan 6 in red and black.
Okay.
It's just a classic shoe. So that's one
Was
where
that
you're going to...
original shoe? I
yeah, it's an original one.
Okay.
But they're remaking it. So that's the thing, too, is like if you're a real collector, like I remember when a lot of the Air Jordans first came out.
Okay.
And the materials were better. It was really, really a cool... it's a different time.
Yeah.
Now the materials aren't as great, but people don't care because they want that shoe so bad they'll pay whatever for it.
And nobody's playing basketball in these shoes.
Well, you know what? Mostly it's a fashion thing.
Okay.
If you have the financial resources to maybe get 2 pairs.
Right.
Okay, here's a sneaker term for you. They say 2 pairs is 1 to rock and 1 to stock.
Oh, 1 to stock.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, they do that. I am told, I don't know anyone who collects action figures like this, but it's like that. You buy 2 action figures, 1 to play with.
And then 1 to put away.
And 1 to put away. 1 to
I do
display.
get that.
Yeah.
I got
so
that.
1 to
1 to play, 1 to display.
1 to play, 1 to display.
You just made something.
That's it. All right, action figure collectors out there.
Yeah.
And so 1 to rock and 1 to stock.
Right. But mostly it's just a fashion thing.
Well, how much is a pair of Air Jordans now? If you just buy
those Air Jordan 6s that are coming out on Black Friday will be $160 or $170.
Okay, so less than $200.
Less than $200, but you'll probably have to RSVP. They'll be hard to get, and they will instantly be $250 to $300 right after the fact.
Right after the fact.
Yeah.
So if you can get in on the ground floor of the red, black number 6s.
And here's the thing, too. I'll take it even further.
Yes, please.
Now, because you have to follow, a Nike or, one of these sneaker stores online,
right,
when they release the shoes that are available, there's all this technology. There's this technology called sneaker bots.
Okay.
And you can buy a sneaker bot to get you through the process faster so you have a chance of getting what you want at retail.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone wrote a program.
Yeah.
A little bot program.
Yeah. See?
Wow.
You see, it's a whole thing now. It's so much different than it was. Like, I like the days when you literally could wait in line, and if you got there early enough, chances are you could get what you wanted. And I remember when you could buy 2 pairs of really good sneakers.
And you could just
buy them. Like, hey, I got the money, I'm going to buy them.
Right. Like you could buy 2 copies of a book.
Right.
But with sneakers, they're like, no, 1 per customer.
Well, and that's their way of trying to give everybody a chance to get it, instead of someone coming in and going, I want 50 pairs of these sneakers.
Right, and then I'm going to resell them all. So,
right.
So there's some justice.
So they're trying their best to control it. But it is a big, like I said, it's so much bigger now than it is. Because like kids, coming up today who never saw Michael Jordan play, but they know those are the coveted sneakers.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
So when you would look at when you go on the road and you'd see shoes and you could tell that they were the good ones, what were you looking for?
Well, a lot of times, yeah. I mean, like I said, I had a really good eye. I had a really good eye. I was like, oh, and then I also knew what the collectors like. You know what I mean?
What do the collectors like?
Well, they like I said, they like Air Jordans. They like Adidas. They like Kanye West, who, you know, everyone knows. Kanye West is very big in the sneaker world because he did a pair of Kanye shoes called the Air Yeezys.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did. For Nike. Those are for Nike. But he left Nike, and he's now creating shoes for Adidas. Like, he hasn't released anything yet, but he's made this big jump, which is interesting because Adidas has been a bigger global company.
Okay.
But in terms of U.S. sneaker fashion, they're behind Nike.
Okay.
So we'll see what Kanye's able to do in terms of...
That guy's a bit of a close horse anyway, right?
Yes, he is. Yes. He loves his fashion.
He does enjoy his fashion.
He would be considered a hype beast.
Oh, I bet you he's a hype beast. Yeah, because other people were you were just a sneaker collector.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like I also played basketball too, so there was a functionality to me. Like when I first... it's like I have a payment. Oh yeah, I mean, like even today, right now I'm wearing the LeBron 9s. And
those are some really cool looking shoes.
I decided if we're going to talk sneakers, I'm not just going to walk the walk. I'm gonna do a little something.
Yeah.
And these were LeBron's signature line from last season. And the funny thing is like this is my favorite colorway. These are the King's Pride. Like all the LeBrons have a name.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah.
I am going to need to take a picture of that shoe.
Oh, please do.
Yes.
Please do. I want the world to see that shoe.
The King's what?
King's Pride.
Pride.
Yes, because if you're a king, you better have some pride.
You better have, what you want to have is you ought to have sort of a shiny neon green looking awesome Nike. And then there's a geographic thing on the heel.
Yeah, and then look at this. They put a lot of crazy detail. Look at that. That's got like an
inside.
Yeah, like a little inner lining thing.
Right, like, because a lot of dress shirts right now will have that in the inside of the collar.
Oh, they go, like, that's the thing that I like about sneaker collecting is it really is, the innovation and all that has really stepped up. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like sports cars, like the subtleties that make a difference. Like, they really... They're doing their thing.
They're spending some time and
they're
some
spending
energy.
And some thought and all that. So
I just bought these. I thought I would wear these.
The ASICs.
These are an ASIC, I believe, CrossFit.
Yes.
The implication would that be that I would exercise. That is not occurring.
Right.
But these are very comfortable, and they what I like about these is I cannot find a sneaker. I can't find a shoe that's one color. Like I just like a black. I mean, I suppose
you like
a
basic shoe.
I like a very basic shoe. That I don't know, that is relatively, but this is my favorite color, purple. So it's a very nice.
See, you would do the sneaker world would be very good to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good purple shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and this is a good purple because it's a nice, it's a good royal sort of purple. It's a good dark, and it's my favorite purple.
Nice.
Just to let you know, but these are how. We will get to how many pairs of shoes you own.
Oh, yeah.
Currently.
That's the great reveal.
That's the great reveal.
Yeah.
Awesome. But those are beautiful. Those are LeBron. And so Nike is sort of ahead of the game on display, but Adidas does it.
Yeah, Adidas is really kind of coming up. Like what they want to do is they want to be what was that? Puma, yeah. Puma used to be really big in the 70s because Clyde Frazier had the Puma Clydes. Like Clyde Frazier was one of those fashion icons back in the day.
Okay.
His Puma sneakers were suede, and they were really cool. I actually have a few really cool Pumas.
Okay.
So I like Pumas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm primarily a Jordan guy.
Okay.
I wrote for LeBron when he hosted the ESPYs a few years back with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
So the ESPN flew me out to Akron while he was doing his basketball camp. So I got to, get to know. I got to meet him and know him, and that's another reason why I'm all in when it comes to LeBron. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, that is when you get to meet somebody. It does help.
Yeah.
It makes you want to support more of their work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, so I mean, that's another great thing about the sneaker thing is that, usually the shoes are attached to, a superstar athlete. Like Kobe has some great shoes, and I have some of his.
Is that with Nike as well?
Yeah, Nike's very smart about going, okay, who's going to be the next big guy? And then,
And is it almost always basketball players, or is it, are there any mixed martial artists or a swimmer?
No.
No. And, how's that guy with one testicle who runs?
I mean, but like Tiger Woods has his golf apparel, and the Tiger Woods line is pretty big, but I'm not going to be wearing Tiger Woods golf shoes to go to a club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I also think it's cool. Like for me, it was very much connected to what I was doing on stage. Like when you're on stage, people, see what you're wearing, and they make a judgment on that. So
your feet are
yes,
it's the weirdest thing that they can see your shoes.
Yes, exactly.
So you're like, you might as well wear a decent shoe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was very much into my show sneakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's those are somebody told me that's in somebody's rider that they have to get a new pair of sneakers for every show. I think it's Eddie
really?
Griffin. Yeah, Eddie Griffin gets a new pair of shoes. This is hearsay.
Well, I in the past I did shows where I would be paid money and then also sneakers.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did.
And
I did
you
a couple.
Get to pick what kind of sneakers you got, or did they just go, well, we're going to go buy him some shoes?
Well, they knew I was a sneaker collector, so usually the shoes that I got were good.
Okay.
I should bring that back because sneakers do go up in value.
Okay.
And I think I made more money off the sneakers than I did off the cash I was being paid.
You do some resale?
Yes.
Jimmy Pardo on the last episode of the Dork Forest, one of the last episodes, he was telling me that he sold all of his Chicago tour shirts. He had bought the band Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
He had bought them all in the 80s because he had gone to see the band over 200 times or something.
Oh, wow.
And he would buy a shirt every time he saw the
Oh,
band.
wow.
He sold them all on eBay, made a great deal of money.
Right.
Immediately regretted it. And had to buy them back, but had to buy them back from other sellers.
Yeah.
And now he has many shirts that don't fit.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I do that too. Like I sell sneakers on eBay. Like I'm a real collector. You know what I mean? Like I get stuff. Sometimes I'll go to a Nike outlet and I'll see a shoe that I know for what it's priced at. There are collectors out there that want it, so I resell.
Yeah.
When
just because you have it in your head, you're like,
well, if you, it's one of those things. Why are you selling this for, or even less than that? Sometimes at a sneaker outlet, like, you can buy a pair of shoes for $50 or $40. And it's $120 shoe.
Yeah.
And you can get that for it. So in some ways I kind of am a reseller in a little, you know what I mean?
The smallest of all.
Yes.
In an Etsy sort of.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, I'll use that money to get something that I really want.
Yeah.
So,
and then you could turn around and buy like something fancy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have sold some sneakers I've regretted selling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I had a Cal Ripken rookie card once.
And that made you, that
makes me
sold
sad
it?
that it's gone.
Yeah,
but I had to pay my rent. So,
well, hey, and I had to do the same thing. I actually bought a pair. There's another sneaker that's coming out that's really interesting. It's called the Dornbeckers.
Okay.
And what they are is they're Air Jordans, but they're designed by kids in a children's hospital.
Aww.
And they sell them, and a percentage of the proceeds goes to this children's hospital.
Okay.
But what happens is they sell these shoes for around $160.
Right.
A percentage goes to the children's hospital. But these shoes, because they're limited and in demand, they skyrocket. So I bought a pair of the Dornbeckers.
Yep.
The first two, when they first came out and nobody really knew about them.
What year was that?
This was probably about 8 years ago,
Okay.
8 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
Bought a pair for retail, which was about $140.
Yep.
I sold them because I needed to pay rent.
Yep.
And I sold a pair for $400,
Okay.
which, I made a profit on them.
Right. Needed to be done because
they're now worth about $1,000.
Okay, there's $1,000 shoe out there.
There's more than $1,000 shoe out there.
Wow.
The Air Yeezys sell for around $2,500.
Holy
Yeah. Go ahead, have it.
Holy shit. Okay. I've had a dark chocolate with sea salt and caramel.
Right.
Dazzle your sense of flavor is the dark promise that I've been given.
That is quite a promise.
It's quite, yeah, it doesn't feel, I don't know who I'm promising this to.
Yeah, so I actually sold
$2,500 for,
sure.
And those are the Nike Kanye.
Well, that was the Kanye ones, the Air Yeezys.
Right. And
Yeah.
so and now he's over at
And now he's at
Adidas.
Adidas, which actually makes all the Nike stuff a little more collectible because he's
Right.
never going to design it again. They're never going to re-release it. It's just a moment in time.
Have you seen these shoes?
Oh, yeah.
An Air Yeezy?
Yes, I have seen the Yeezys.
What do they look like? Do they look like...
There's the last pair that came out when he had left Nike to go to Adidas. What Nike did was they just dropped them unexpectedly on a Sunday.
Okay.
And they were all red, and they're called the Red Octobers.
Okay.
And they're fantastic.
They're really cool looking?
They're kind of obnoxious, but in a cool way.
Wait, I think that speaks to the man himself.
Exactly. Exactly.
That really...
Yeah.
All right, so you can really put your personality in.
So, can I tell you something? If I could,
Yeah.
I would definitely have a pair of red Yeezys in my collection. Oh, yeah.
Would they be for stock or would they be for...
Oh, I would wear them,
rock?
too. I'd wear them on stage.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I might play basketball in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would, you would need some disposable income though. to
Yes,
really
exactly.
have to save
If I get on a show or something where money is just coming in and it's coming, I will definitely get a pair of Yeezys, and I will not think twice about it.
Not even. And
No.
you'll just be like, I'll be wearing these.
Right.
And then do you wear them out?
You know what? I do try and wear my shoes, and here's the thing too: is every few years I go through this thing where if I'm not wearing them, I start to feel guilty that I'm just hoarding.
Yeah.
And then I clear some out.
Okay.
So I do a sneaker purge.
Sneaker purge.
Yes.
Do you do an eBay sneaker purge?
I do.
Hopefully? Thank
I
God.
do. And then sometimes I'll sell through Flight Club or Riff LA or one of these places.
They'll do a consignment-y kind of
Yes,
thing?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I just, I clear stuff out. My daughter just turned 17 and I sold 4 pairs of sneakers to get her a birthday present.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
some of the stuff Andy has 6,000 comic books.
yes.
And I was like, can you do me a favor? We live in a small house. If
Right.
you could just go through them and just pull out, and I was like, you can keep the ones that, and I came up with 3 criteria.
Right.
1, if they are worth money.
Yes.
2, if you think you'll reread them.
Yeah.
And then 3 can be a nebulous thing where for some reason you're attracted to the keeping it, even though you don't think you'll ever read it. And it is definitely not worth any money. But for some reason, there is a nostalgic reason. And you would think that would mean the rest of them.
Right.
But it didn't. He pulled out 400 comic books.
Uh-huh.
And then we gave them to the comic book store and we got a couple $100 worth of credit towards
Great.
more comic books.
Great.
But it was, I think that holding on to stuff like that after you're no longer, I think that's the hoarding. That's the dangerous part is
Right.
with collecting and with
Right.
stuff like that. If you
Yeah,
can't let it go-
I always sort of every now and again go, okay, if you're not wearing it, get rid of it.
Okay.
But then there's a part of me where, like I said, with those Dorenbeckers,
Yep.
where I regret it. And I'm probably going to do exactly what Jimmy Pardo did and buy
One
them
day,
back.
Buy them back.
Yes.
Yes, so that you can have them.
Yes.
Have you ever done taken a pair of shoes and just created like a shadow box diorama?
Oh yes, yeah, sure.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have a.
Please.
This is a hilarious and sad story at the same time. I'm friends with Tisha Campbell Martin.
Okay.
And she was doing an episode of My Wife and Kids, and Michael Jordan was guest starring.
Okay.
And so she's a big Michael Jordan fan. I'm a gigantic Michael Jordan fan. Obviously, I've devoted thousands of dollars to
wear shoes that have the same on them.
Yes, exactly. So I said, hey, Tisha, I know this is imposing a little bit, but if you could get him to sign one of my Air Jordan 1s, that would be fantastic. So I gave her one sneaker of the pair, and she put it in her.
Did you buy those original?
Yes, I did. Well, not original. I bought them.
They were a reprint?
I found them. Well, no. They were originals from 1985.
Okay.
Which have the better leather than the remakes.
Okay.
Because, back then, they didn't know what was going on. They were like, hey, let's use the best material possible.
Right, we're making a shoe. We're not making a
we're not making something to resell.
Yeah.
So I gave her a shoe to get signed by Michael Jordan, which would be cool because then it could go on my thing.
Yeah.
Her luggage got stolen. So there went my Air Jordan. So I still have the one shoe, and I put it in a collector's box, and that's what that is.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what that's become.
I have to tell you, the Dork Forest is a safe space, so I will not mock you for keeping one fucking shoe, though I am clearly tempted.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so, but that is sad though. That is super sad that they lost the luggage for real.
Yeah,
like it. I don't know why. Is this if soothing at all? Is the fact that I once picked up the wrong luggage. I came back from Hong Kong about 4 months ago, picked up a piece of luggage that looked like mine, but was for some reason twice as big. Why would I think it was mine?
Yeah.
It was the same color scheme, but it was half a head taller. And so I bring it to the house. I open it up. I'm like, these are not my belongings.
Right.
And I look at the tag, and it is not my. And so then I have to drive back down to LAX and give it back. So that the woman who went to Canada without her luggage
could get her luggage
and
enjoy Canada.
Yeah, enjoy Canada with fresh clothing.
Right.
And then I picked up my own luggage, which nobody stole.
Oh, good. Well, that's good.
That would have been nice if they would have found that luggage, and then she would have had that second shoe.
Yeah. Well, whoever found that is like, oh, cool, one Air Jordan. I will get a little box for it.
Right, like the other half of this medallion. Oh my God, that is sad.
Yeah.
Have you thought about purchasing another pair?
It's hard to buy one shoe.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Have you ever got to meet Michael Jordan?
I did meet Michael Jordan. Yeah, I did. I was
just in passing though, like not in a situation where you.
Well, actually, I was on the Jamie Foxx show, and then one of the fellow actors on the Jamie Foxx show knew Michael Jordan a little better than me, and we were at this party, and he was like, "Hey, you want to meet Michael Jordan?"
You're like,
and yes, I do.
As a matter of fact.
And so I met him at this party, which was cool.
Yeah, that is.
And then I mean, I was like kind of cool about it. Like, what do you say? Hey, I wear your shoes almost every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't. There's nothing you can say.
There's
nothing you can say.
There's nothing, and it's a social event. So
yes.
You try to just.
Yeah.
Be calm.
I tried to be cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which. I have told this story before because about a month and a half ago I met Matt Damon. And I don't know. There's got to be a better way to meet someone when they come up to you and they say, "That was really funny. You're really funny. Nice set." And then I shook his hand and I said, "Well, this is neat." Not great. Not perfect. He was very polite.
Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. That is
could have been worse, but I let him live his life.
Right.
I didn't follow him around or make him do anything. Right. I tried to be cool, but that was as cool as I could be. So.
Right.
So, let's talk about so how many. Is it 2?
Is it that time?
Is it 2? We're pretty much.
We're at that time. Okay. Well, yeah, we can let it out.
How many shoes are you currently rocking?
Wearing or just in the collection total?
In the collection total. Let's do that.
I would say, I don't know the exact number.
Sure.
I would
it's really for the
say,
best, probably.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
I would say about somewhere around 200 pairs.
I was not going to guess more than 100.
Really?
Yeah, and I wasn't going to guess that shoes could cost $2,500.
Oh, yeah, you're learning a lot.
I am learning a lot. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And So close to 200.
Around
pairs.
200 is what I would say.
Okay.
And then, keep in mind, every now and again, I go, okay, get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
So you do some purging.
Yes.
You got to have a lot of storage for these shoes.
Well, I used to have in my old house, I had a back house where I kept all my sneakers, which was really cool. It was what I called my shoeporium.
Well, you're going to want a shoeporium.
Yes.
A lot of shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was my shoemador.
I enjoy Troubadour a great deal. And, yeah. So
that's where I kept them on.
Yeah.
It was cool. I would go back there and I would look at what I had and I would, yes, oh yeah. And I had these, racks that I had built that I could see what I had. Like that's part of it too is, and then when I moved, I packed everything in these big boxes, and now they're in these boxes in the garage, which isn't fun because
you don't get to
I don't
really
get
see
to.
them.
It's just in boxes. You know what I mean? That's part of what collecting is you have to be able to see it and get to it.
Troubadour.
Yes, a humidor. Doesn't that sound fun?
The greatest thing in the
Yes.
possibly with some sort of electric thing that could spin them so that they could display.
Yes.
That would be ideal.
Yes.
Now, when you had them displayed.
Yes.
Were they grouped by style, by year, by color? How did you do
like
it?
I did like the Air Jordan 1s, which were the original Air Jordans that Mike had in 1985. Those were all together.
Okay.
And I actually had a display. There was this, I had a display where I had all the original Air Jordans all displayed, and those were in cases, and it was very lofty. It was like, it was like going to the Nike factory in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
have you been to the Nike?
I have. In fact, it was a birthday present one year to take a tour of the Nike factory, and it really was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It really was. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. It was actually. I would love to go again. And they have a store.
Like a gift shop, of course.
Yeah,
right?
of course they do. And the prices there and the selection, it really is like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Wow. What?
Yes.
Talk to me briefly about how big is the factory?
Oh, the factory's
And where
gigantic.
is it again?
It's in Beaverton, Oregon.
It's in Beaverton, Oregon. There's
It's where
Nike
Phil
factory.
Knight. Like I don't know if you know, Phil Knight played. He went to Oregon, where the Ducks are, and I don't know if you know college football, but if the founder of Nike went to your university, he has inundated them with the coolest stuff possible. Like they get special Oregon Ducks Air Jordans, and
he's an alumni.
Yes,
and
he is. So he has.
He's
Yes.
like, go Ducks.
Yes, and he is full throttle. So they get stuff that the rest of the world doesn't get.
Right.
Every week they wear a different jersey. It seems like almost every play they wear a new jersey. It's one of the benefits of having, that guy, love his school.
Will you one day give back to UCLA like that?
I don't have a sneaker company.
Right, but you would just go tell a personalized joke.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
To the matriculating
Absolutely.
students.
I mean, I love my college probably like he loves
like everybody
his college,
loves their college.
but he just has untold resources to show his love.
Yes, and merch.
Yes,
And,
he's got crazy merch.
Crazy merch that he can spread amongst the Ducks.
Yeah.
So how many people are on this tour? Was it more than you?
Well, it was one of the creative director of Brand Jordan at the time is a guy named Dwayne Edwards. He has since started a sneaker design school up in Oregon. And so
I love that you're following this guy's career.
Oh no, he's amazing. He's designed Air Jordans and a bunch of other shoes. He's a really great sneaker designer.
Okay.
And a friend.
Okay.
And so he was the one that gave me the tour.
Okay.
And it was unbelievable. So Jordan has a building there, right? And so you walk through the halls and there's just like Jordan apparel everywhere. And so he goes, if you want stuff, just take it.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you must have lost your tiny lizard
Well,
mind.
you know what was crazy? Was at first I was shy. Like, you know,
of course.
yes.
You don't
and-
want to be...
Yeah, you don't want to be gluttonous.
Yes.
And then you realize, when am I going to do this again?
You're
So
not.
you go full throttle. He actually told me when
No
I
wonder
flew
it
up
was
there.
the greatest.
It was the greatest trip ever. When he told me, when he first told me, he said, "Oh yeah, when you fly up here, bring a big bag so you can take stuff home." I brought the biggest bag I could find.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was
That
great. I did
incredibly
all my
nice.
Christmas shopping
Right.
when I did that trip.
As you walked along, how many
Yes.
shoes have they made for Jordan? Over the since 1985.
they're up to, what are they up to now? The 29? So 29 models.
in in different colors.
In
Each
different
model
colors.
has
Has
different-
a
like
bunch
Hot
of different
Wheels.
colors. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And they say, here's an interesting fact. They say Michael Jordan has 5 pairs of every shoe that's been released. I don't know if that's true.
Right? That just
But
might
if
be
he
anecdotal.
does,
If he
that
does,
is pretty amazing.
and that is a pretty great thing to leave his children.
Right. And
his
I would like to
grandchildren.
see that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
should be its own museum. Is there a Nike museum?
There is the Nike factory
Kinda has-
it has some museum displays to Michael Jordan,
Right.
which are pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a sneakerhead, it is the ultimate trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So we really are dorking out about sneakers.
We are full on.
Yeah.
We're at 40 minutes, my
Yeah.
friend, and this is all sneaker all the time. and so it's almost all Nike for you though.
Yeah, I'm primarily Nike. I do have some Adidas. I do have some Converse. I like Converse.
Oh, yeah?
There are all the sneaker companies have their collectible stuff. I do love the high tops, the Cons, the one
right.
stars.
Yep.
Actually, one of my favorite collectible pairs of Converses. I have a pair of the Kurt Cobain Converse. I don't know if you know about those, but Kurt Cobain used to
Musician,
wear
Nirvana.
Yes, of
Sure,
course.
I can-
Used to wear Converse, and what he would do is he would write his lyrics on his shoes, and he did a really cool pair on the side of his Converse. He said, "Return for reward if lost."
Yeah.
Like, he was very creative with his shoes. So
Yeah.
what they did was they remade a version of his shoes, and they released them, and they were limited.
Yep.
And I was actually working out in Palm Springs,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a Converse outlet there, and there were a couple pairs that happened to be in my size.
Wow.
So that's a really cool Converse collectible pair
Yeah.
that I have, and I love those because that's a great on stage shoes. And who wouldn't want to be in that Kurt Cobain mindset when you're on stage?
When you're on stage,
yeah.
everyone
Stand up
wants-
is dark and
Yeah,
you know
twisted,
Yes,
weird,
exactly. So that's a great
related.
shoe. Yes, exactly.
Where's a Mitch Hedberg shoe?
There should be a Mitch Hedberg shoe.
There should be a Mitch Hedberg
Yeah,
shoe.
there should be a Mitch Hedberg shoe. So that's like Converse. Yeah, I mean, I collect a little bit of everything. Like, here's the thing about sneaker collecting that I'll say, and this was definitely what separates you from a hype beast.
Okay.
I would say collect what you like.
Yeah.
Don't just collect what's valuable, because like anything, stuff goes up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The stuff that's really,
Popular
now may not be.
Yeah.
So
you better like it if you're
yes,
gonna spend a
exactly.
couple
And the
$100
stuff
on
that
shoes.
the stuff that I collect, I really like.
Right. And
Or I have some sort of connection to it, like the LeBrons. I wrote for LeBron.
Yep.
And, I met him at a time before the championships and the MVP. So it was
Okay.
it was very, there's a personal connection.
yeah. And those are really cool shoes, quite
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And have you worn every pair, do you say?
No, there's a lot that I haven't worn
Just
that I
because
like so much that
You're waiting.
that I'm waiting.
You're
I'm
waiting for
the
something special.
Yes.
And if you're going to wear them on stage, let's just, this has to be, because I have a pair of shoes that I love right now.
Right.
They're kind of a steampunk boot.
Yeah.
And they have a copper heel.
Yeah.
And they're fucking amazing. And
Yeah.
I don't wear a heel on stage ever.
Right.
But I've been trying to figure out how to just get used to it, because those
Yeah.
are the best shoes ever.
Yes. Yeah.
But I bring them.
Yeah.
I bring them.
On the off chance that
then I'm going to wipe out and I'm going
Right.
to break a heel.
Right.
That's not okay.
So you take them with you.
I bring them, and then I wear a regular shoe, and then I put them on before I go on stage.
Oh, that's good.
Do you do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I laugh at myself sometimes because I'll be doing like maybe, a 2-nighter or something, and I'll have 4 pairs of sneakers.
right. You're like, there's going to be different
Right.
shoes.
There's going to be different moods, and
Yeah.
who knows?
Right.
So
What shoe am I going to wear?
Yeah, no, I definitely have like my show pair of shoes, or like I was just in Sacramento, and
Did you do the one in Old Sac?
I did. I did
okay.
Laughs Unlimited.
Yeah.
And Sacramento, the Sacramento Kings play, right?
Okay.
And their thing is Purple Rain. Like, so they're, it's purple is one of their colors.
Right.
So I brought a pair of purple Nike penny half cents.
Okay. That's what they're called, penny
yeah,
half cents?
yeah, it's Anthony Hardaway penny.
Okay.
They did a shoe for him, and they were
Okay.
called the half cents. And so I figured I'm going to Sacramento. There's going to be Kings fans there. It was just a little something for me to
For the
connect to.
4 people in the audience
that actually get it.
would get it.
Yeah, but I actually think it's cool to pick shoes for where you're playing. It kind of puts me in the zone of representing that area.
Yeah, it's like writing a personalized joke.
Yes, exactly.
For the town.
Exactly.
And people love, they genuinely do.
Yeah.
I mean, do people come up to you after shows and they're like, noticed your shoes?
Yeah, well, some people do. Like, actually, when I was in the green room, one of the other comics I was working with was like, "Oh, cool! I see you're representing the Purple
Okay.
Rain."
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
I felt like my efforts weren't just for me.
Right. Well, I have several weird one-off jokes that are just for like 3 people in the room anyway.
Right.
So you might as well, because you got to make it fun.
Well, I do those jokes on Sunday. That's usually my Sunday night
That's
set.
casual day.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
stand-up
yeah.
comedy casual day.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be playing in December?
In December, I will be in town, so I'm a regular
over LA?
I'm a regular at the Laugh Factory. I work the Comedy and Magic Club.
Okay.
I will be in town.
You will be around.
Yes,
and
I
doing
will be.
stand-up comedy.
Yes.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
And so the big shoe that's coming out on Black Friday, the day that this comes out,
Right.
is that
Is
number
the
6?
Air Jordan number 6
Right.
in the red black colorway.
Exactly. Is anything else happening?
Well, there are a few other releases, but that's the big one. That's the one where you're going to hear about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to make a lot of noise. And that is like also an unfortunate thing about sneaker collecting and sneakers in general, because these sneakers are limited and they're
Right.
coveted.
How many is limited? Like what
The
is
better
a
ones are
run?
limited.
Like how many is in a
It
limited
varies.
run?
Like it varies.
500 pairs?
Some as low as 500 pairs. Some as low as 12.
Oh my gosh.
Some one of ones.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Are they numbered?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because that'd
Yeah.
be kind of cool.
3,000. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
numbered. Yeah.
Yeah, if 3,000 to 5,000 shoes.
It's
you
still
could-
pretty rare.
That's super rare.
Yeah.
There's 7 billion people on the planet.
Yes, exactly.
How many people do you think, dude? Is there a community online that you go to, like a
Well,
forum
there's
kind
some
of thing?
guys. There's some guys I follow on Instagram that are sneaker collectors and know that I'm a sneaker collector.
Okay.
I try and even on my Instagram, though I'm a stand-up and a writer and a producer, every now and again I'll post sneakers out of my collection just for the sneakerheads.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's a guy that I follow on Instagram called Sneaker Dave.
Sneaker Dave.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you follow a guy called Sneaker Dave?
Right. If you like sneakers,
Yeah.
you sense that Dave might be into them.
Yes. And we actually became friends because he was a sneaker collector. And when I first joined Instagram, he knew I was a sneaker collector too, because I would wear, even like when I was on the Jamie Foxx show, I would wear, collectible sneakers. When I
Right.
did stand-up sets, I would always wear collectible sneakers. So,
Right.
the real sneakerheads, when they see those in reruns, they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw you wearing these on
Yep.
that show." So it's kind of like a shout out to
Right.
to the real heads.
To the real, yeah.
Yeah.
That it's that's awesome. I love the idea that there are these, it's just a smaller community
Yeah.
inside, and it's something, because you've been collecting them since you were in college.
Yeah, so about 20 years.
So about 20 years.
Yeah.
And so
I'm an OG sneakerhead.
exactly
in the game.
Exactly. There's no hype beast to it.
No.
It's all about The sneaker, it's all
I'll tell you a great story, a great sneaker story.
I love the words. I'm going to tell you a great sneaker story.
I'll tell you a great sneaker story. You don't hear that much.
No.
I became friends with Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas is a basketball player that played for the Wizards.
Thank you.
His nickname was Agent Zero.
Okay.
And was an awesome player.
Yep.
I used to watch him play because he's from this area. I watched him play when he was in high school.
Okay.
I saw him score 50 in a game in running shoes. He was so much better than the competition, he didn't even put on his basketball shoes. That's how good he was. So as he became a pro and made a name for himself, I enjoyed watching him play. His kids went to the same school as my kids.
Okay.
He's a big sneaker collector.
Okay.
Huge sneaker collector. So we bonded in that way.
Yep.
One day he says to me, "What is one pair of shoes that you've always wanted that you don't have in your collection?" So I told him.
Right.
And
you never know. It's like when your aunt says, "What have you always wanted?"
Yeah.
Because it could work out.
Yeah. So I told him, and the pair that I wanted was this pair that came out, was really limited. They were the Air Jordan 5s.
Okay.
Right? And they made them with this extra great material. So they were like the turbocharged Air Jordan 5s.
Okay.
I told him, thinking maybe he might have a connection to a guy that could get him.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." A week and a half later, he shows up to the school with that pair of shoes in my size. Yeah.
And just gave them to you?
It gave them to me.
That is an amazing, that's a hell of a perk.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a weird, because the thing is when you do collect something like you do.
Yeah.
Or like anybody does, and you're like, oh, you really like that kind of thing. And you want to give back.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, how psyched will that guy be if I can find the one thing?
It was amazing. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
And here's the tears and hug him.
I almost did. I was that happy.
Right.
Here's the only bad thing about this story.
Yeah.
Is I haven't worn them yet.
Because you love them so.
I love them so much.
And you're waiting for something.
I'm waiting for the right occasion. I look at them every now and again, and I get such a good feeling about it. And I will wear them. That's like you said, that pair of shoes that you have.
Yeah.
That's a shoe that I'd wear on a special.
Yeah.
Or something super cool.
Right. It would have to be like a kind of just a big.
I'm not going to wear that to open mic.
Nope. Even though you got a great new joke.
Yeah.
The joke's great. Just look up here. Look up here, because I'm just wearing regular shoes.
Right.
And wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's giving back to the community.
Yeah.
And do your kids collect sneakers?
Well, my kids are into it. I actually kind of got my son is turning 10.
Okay.
And so the great thing about having a dad for a sneaker collector is the sneakers in his collection are amazing.
Okay.
And my daughter's 17, and she's into it because that young generation is. So she has some pretty killer shoes, too.
Okay.
And like I said, when I sell stuff, sometimes I'll sell stuff to just get them what they want.
Get them something that's fun for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, you said in passing that there was running shoes and then basketball shoes.
Right.
What are basketball shoes? What do they...
basketball shoes typically are shoes that are endorsed by a professional player that are used specifically for on-court play.
So, but what's the science of it? Is it
that you're not going to roll your ankle.
Okay.
It's got better ankle support.
Okay.
It's lightweight. The materials are breathable.
Okay. So that when your feet sweat, that they don't get super crazy.
I mean, it's made for what it is that you're doing. Very similar to like a track shoe. Track shoes are smaller, lighter, have spikes on the front.
Okay.
This is made primarily for basketball.
Okay.
The thing is that they've become fashion statements because, in the past, athletes actually don't drive the market as much as entertainers now. Right. You know what I mean? Like Drake's a big Jordan head, so he wears sneakers, and that's what makes sneakers cool.
Because all the kids are like, look at that. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite entertainer.
And he's wearing those
Jason
shoes.
Sudeikis is a big Jordan collector.
Okay.
And a big sneakerhead. So he's a guy that wears sneakers.
Okay.
Like it's a fashion thing now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. That is it's unstoppable.
It is unstoppable. It is unstoppable.
And so every year they come out with new ones. And every year,
actually, almost every week, there's something new. That's the thing that sneaker collecting has changed. There's you have so many more chances to get stuff now.
Okay.
Like back when I first started, maybe they did 5 versions of that sneaker throughout the year. Now they do 25.
Okay.
So, and some are more popular than others.
Right.
So yeah, so the good thing, if you're into sneakers, there's more out there for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I find that actually I'm a lot more choosy now. I would say in a given year, I probably only get 8 to 10 pairs of shoes. But that's just because I already have so many.
You got a lot of shoes, and then
I will never wear all my shoes if I wore them once a day. And some people do that on Instagram. I should do that just for the fun of it.
Right.
Wear a different pair of shoes every day and document it.
January 1st, wear a different. See how many. You'll find out how many shoes you got.
If I just go as long as I can?
Yeah, you just grab a box out of the garage.
Right.
And just go.
That'll be a real challenge for me because some I haven't even taken out of the box.
Right.
So that will be a real challenge.
And then you can visit that shoe.
I
and
can.
You'll say, oh, look, there's that cool shoe.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
It's, yeah, that is amazing. The whole sneaker, the whole sneaker life.
Well, I'll tell you this too. Like, you know how there's comic book conventions?
Yeah.
There are also sneaker conventions.
Why wouldn't there be?
Why wouldn't there be? And it's the coolest thing. It is
it's like a car show.
It is
It's
a car show. It's a
show.
car show for sneakers. And it's not just reselling sneakers. You can restore sneakers. So there's ways to display sneakers.
Okay.
There's cleaning elements you can buy. It's
Right.
exactly like a car show. The only thing is there's no bikini-clad woman laying on a pair of
What,
sneakers.
they don't have booth babes?
No, they don't.
Sticking out of a giant sneaker?
They
How awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it would work, but
Yeah.
you really don't need it.
No, you don't need it because everybody's looking at the shoes, which bit of a testimonial of the car people.
Right.
You need this lady? You need
Right.
this lady to be super good looking next to the vehicle?
Right.
Then why don't you collect ladies instead of collecting cars? I don't know that's. I don't think that's allowed.
No,
And,
no.
That's
That's illegal.
That is illegal. It's frowned upon. So, this has been the greatest, full hour. Suli McCullough.
I told you I can dork out about sneakers.
Yeah.
I really can.
We were just sitting in the green room. I think it was at Largo.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how it started.
And that's how it began.
Well, that's the thing too, is like when I go to sneaker conventions, first of all, people recognize me for the stuff that I've done on TV, which is cool. But then when I start talking about sneakers and they realize, oh my God, he's one of us.
Yeah.
It is a much cooler connection.
Right, because then, I mean, it's always nice to talk to people about who share your interests.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like, I'm glad you're a fan of my comedy.
Yeah.
In other news, have you read
Right.
Lois McMaster Buchholz?
Right.
And then you have that conversation.
I do.
So, are there sneaker books that you would recommend?
There's a book I really like by this guy, Babito Garcia.
Babito.
Yes.
B-I-T-O?
Sure.
Garcia? Sure.
Called Where'd You Get Those?
Yeah.
And what it is it's an in-depth look at New York sneaker culture from about the early 70s to about the mid 80s. So just before the rap era.
Okay.
And so what I like about that book is the detail. You know, that's when it was much harder to find the good stuff. There was less of it out there. It's a really cool book, very in-depth book.
Right. It was sort of the birth of the fashion industry.
Right. And it was very tied into what happened in hip hop with Run DMC and, so I really like that book.
Were those guys sneakerheads?
Oh, of course. You've never heard of My Adidas?
What? I have heard My Adidas. Yes, I have. I just feel like KRS-One and Scott LaRock were just much more serious.
Right.
And then they weren't worried about their footwear.
No, they weren't.
And
KRS-One, he didn't have time for all that.
No, he was busy affecting change.
Right, he was a change agent.
Yes, exactly. So, is there anything in your notes that you would like to last?
Let me see what else we can.
Yeah, see where we're at. And make sure that everybody, while he looks at that, Suli McCullough, SulimCcullugh.com, on Twitter, on Instagram. His tour page is, I'm sure, on the website, and so check it out. And it's always good.
Here, let me make sure that I have. Where'd you get those? Is New York City sneaker culture from 1960 to 1987.
Oh, nice.
And the author is Babito Garcia. And then I also like Sneakers, The Complete Collector's Guide. And that's Thomas and Hudson.
Okay.
And what's cool about that book is it details all the early Nike releases.
Yeah.
So it really is like, remember the days when you would get that big catalog?
Yeah.
And you would just flip through and go, I want that and I want that.
Yeah, I'm going to pick one thing from every page.
Yeah, you get to do that.
That's super fun.
My favorite spots in LA to buy Snell sneakers, Riff LA in Koreatown. Flight Club on Fairfax, Supreme on Fairfax, and then also the Rose Bowl Flea Market.
Oh, really?
Which is once a month, the second Sunday. You pay to get in, but don't let that dissuade you.
Why?
Because it's a lot of different vendors that bring their stuff to sell, and you can find a little bit of everything. It is, you will find deals, you'll find rare sneakers.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't know what they have, so you could come up with an amazing deal.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite places to look. And then I also go hit Goodwills, I hit thrift stores, I hit resale places.
There's a fancy Salvation Army over in South Pass. That is next to the factory.
I like Goodwills more than Salvation Army because Goodwills, they don't scan the stuff. They just put it out on the floor.
Okay,
At the Salvation Army, they do that. So if somebody knows what's collected, they pick it. So those are great places. In fact, I'll connect a story that I told you earlier about my buddy Dwayne Edwards.
Yep.
I went to a resale place to get rid of some clothes I wasn't wearing anymore and happened to see a pair of Air Jordans that he designed. They had priced them too low because they weren't sneaker collectors, and they were just like, oh, let's resell these shoes.
Yep.
So I sold the clothes that didn't fit, used the money to get a pair of these red suede Air Jordan 21s that my buddy Dwayne Edwards designed.
Yep.
And those probably sell for about $300.
Wow.
So you see how it all comes full circle. And what was cool for me was I had a pair of shoes designed by a good friend of mine that happened to come into my collection.
Yep.
The good way.
And reasonably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is what made me first realize that there were people who collected sneakers. An episode of Bones.
Oh,
the television program Bones. There was a guy who collected he was a sneakerhead.
Right.
I assume they didn't call him that.
Right.
And he had a pair of very rare Japanese sneakers.
Oh, nice.
There seems to be another market.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe they were anime or they were something like that. And I was wondering, have you ever heard of that?
Well, there are like Japanese designers. And
I don't mean to introduce a brand new topic at 1 hour.
Well, yeah, I know we've already overdid it, but there are Japanese designers. I have a pair of Nike Dunk Lows called the Takashis.
Okay.
And they're very cool because they're suede black with gold Nike stripe and very cool sneakers. And they were made by this artist Takashi.
Yeah.
And so they're very collectible. I think I bought them from Undefeated, which is another great sneaker store on La Brea.
Okay.
And I bought them for, I think, $100, $98 when they came out.
Wow.
And they were collectible and rare and instantly shot up to about $300 a pair.
Wow.
So I have those and I wear those every now and again and break those out for the good people.
For the good people with the cool gold swoop.
Yeah. And, the Japanese collectors are very big. Like it's, a lot of times, just like with the Levi's jeans and, they're very big about buying the cool stuff that's Americana.
Okay.
So
this has been great, Suli McCullough. Thank you so much for doing the dork for us.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't call them tennis shoes.
No.
Because there's so much more than that.
Right. I had a pair of Vans that I loved.
Vans are cool. I like Vans too.
They're nice and sticky.
Yeah.
I like it, but they're good for the skateboard.
Yeah.
It's, but everybody, go see Suli McCullough do stand-up comedy and support him on Twitter and the Instagram and all that stuff. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Take care of each other out there, Rangers.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?